apple wreath. Okay, so we're gonna be working on the inner ring of my base. Oopsie. This is how my base looks so far on the back. So we're gonna be doing the mesh and the ribbon on the inner side. Okay, so let me put the wreath to the side for a minute, and we're gonna be working. Move my mesh, part of my reach, to the side so we can start gathering. And I changed the view of the camera because I wanted you guys to be able to see it a little better. I hope the view is better. Okay, so I'm pinching it or holding it with my ribbon board like we did before, and it's the same process. We're gonna be folding 1 inch, going up, going up, going up, holding it with a pin because I know it's going to be easier for you guys. Fold it 1 inch, going up, going up, going up, and now we walk it out, right? So center, pinch, and go up and walk it all the way to the other side of the mesh. Hold it, remove the pin, and bring your wreath. And we're gonna be using those center or inner ring pipe cleaners. Remember to push it down and pinch and twist 2 times. And I like to bring my mesh play with it. Hold on. There you go. Because I want my mesh to be covering everything. So that's how it's gonna look. Okay. So we're gonna do all the burlap mesh, and then we're going to be adding the green. Again, hold it over there, pinch it 1 inch, fold, 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 hold it with your pin, fold it 1 inch, fold, 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 and walk it out. Pinch and walk, pinch and walk, pinch and walk, hold it. Find that second inner pipe cleaners, hold it down and twist. I'm just trimming. Same thing. Now I'm having a little bit more space on my table. Pinch, fold 1 inch, fold, fold, fold. Fold 1 inch, fold, fold, fold. Now guys, remember, while we are doing this, remember to please go and check my website. My website is Lorell's, Lorell designs.com, and you guys can go and look at all the beautiful wreaths that I have. Remember, I do custom orders, so anything that you guys might want, I might be able to do. So visit my website and take a look at all the beautiful ribbon. All the beautiful wreath, swags, and centerpieces that I have available for sale. And remember, I ship internationally, okay? So fold it 1 inch, fold, fold, fold. Use your clip, turn it and do the same. 1 inch, fold, fold, fold. This way it's gonna be faster because we have already done it. We did everything in the first part. We're just repeating the process, so it's gonna be easy for you guys to do. Remember, tie it down and twist. We have 2 more. One inch up, roll, roll, roll. Hinge, twist. 1 inch up, roll, roll, roll. And now we walk it out. Now walk it out. I keep pulling all of my zip ties. Okay, search for that hiding pipe cleaner. Push it down, make sure it's pushed all the way to that rail. And then you fix. This is gonna be a stunning wreath. Now our last one. Oopsie. I'm hiding my ribbon board. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, so we finished with the last mesh of the inner ring. Now we are going to be adding the curls of the green. Same process, right? Fold 1 inch and roll, 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 roll your boat. Well, it's roll, but well. Now we're gonna untwist 2 times. Put your roll right in the center, hold it tight and twist away. To remind you, fold 1 inch and roll, roll all the way until the end of those 10 inches of mesh. Pleat in the center, cinch it, hold it tight. Come to your pipe cleaner, untwist 2 times, push it in tightly, and twist the pipe cleaners a couple times. Fold it 1 inch and do the same. Rod it all the way. Pinch in the center and hold it tight. Untwist 2 times. Pinch, hold, and twist. And we're going to repeat the process 3 more times. Pinch, untwist, push down, and don't worry about squeezing those ribbons and those bows. It's okay, they're wire. Remember, you come back, you fix them, and they look gorgeous again. 2 more curls, 1 inch, and roll away, pinching and holding, twisting 2 times, pushing it right in the center and pinching and twisting. Our last green curl. Another thing to remember, guys, if you guys want to see me designing and making some designs live, I stream. Sometimes I go live on my TikTok account, so you guys can follow me up there. All the links for my socials are in my bio on here, YouTube. Look at that beauty. Now we're going with the same process of the ribbons, okay? So same thing. Now, remember, it's 1, 1, 1, 1. They're all going to be different, so we're going to be using the gingham and the green. Same color, same process. The difference is going to be that this time I want to put the green and the gingham with the stripe flat. We're not going to do the loop that we did before. We're just going to do the simple one. And the reason is because, remember, we're going to be adding some attachments. And we don't want to take away from them. So the top part, it's going to be simple. We're going to be twisting all the way and cutting those pipe cleaners, remember? Folding the pipe cleaner in. And putting those ribbons beautifully. Now, this one we use the gingham and the green. The next one is going to be burlap and green and gingham. Put one on top of the other. Right where we creased, we're going to fold and hold. Come to our wreath. Untwist your zip ties. Hold it twice. Remember, we're going to add a bow here so we don't cut those. Next one is going to be gingham and burlap with the green on top. Pinch, fold. We lose it to the left, remember? Hold in the center and twist to the right 2 or 3 times. And go ahead and cut. Fold in and push inwards. Next one, burlap and gingham. Pinch and gathered. Untwist to the left 2 times. Put it right in the center. Hold on tight and twist to the right. Do not cut those. Don't cut them yet, because we're adding the bow. Now the green, pinch and gather, untwist 2 times, hold it in, twist to the right, cut, fold and push in, and bring up that mesh, make it fluff and pretty. Our last one will be the burlap and gingham. We're going to be pinching, doing the same thing. It's repetitive, but it's pretty. So we untwist to the left, put it in place, and twist to the right. Bring that mesh up, fluff it out, fluff it. Look how stunning that looks. It is simply beautiful. So beautiful, guys. Now we're gonna make the little bows. Remember, there are three little bows that we're gonna be making. I am going to be moving the wreath so I can show them to you. Six inches, pinch, hold it down. The ribbon that is going up, not pointing towards you, this one is the one that we cut the dovetail. We're gonna hold it and twist it, bring it down about 3 inches. We measure 3 inches, right? Now we're gonna twist it again, move the bow, three inches. So we're measuring 6 inches all the time, right? Measuring 6 inches all the time. For each one of our folds, it's gonna be 6 inches. We go to the same burlap and gingham ribbon combination or ribbon tails that we have here, and we're gonna attach our pretty bow. And of course, this is not gonna be the only bow that we're gonna be making. Of course, we're gonna be adding a beautiful bow to the wreath. Remember to trim that ribbon and make it a pretty dovetail. Let's make our second bow. Let's do it again. Cut, dovetail that in, go from 10, I'm using the mark of the 10 inches here, from 10 to 6 or 16, that's 6 inches. I'm gonna pinch and gather my ribbon. Then the ribbon that is attached to the roll, we're gonna twist it. Now we're gonna measure again from 10 to 16. We're gonna bring it in, pinch it, and hold it, making your loop. Turn that bow, pinch and twist the other side of the ribbon. Measure again those 6 inches, bring it in again, pinching and holding. Guys, if you need help with making bows, I have a video here where I teach some hand bows, okay? And I am working on adding a video tutorial on my website that you can purchase and learn to make the most fabulous bows. So check my website for that tutorial. It's coming soon. I will let you guys know once it's available so you guys can visit my website and purchase it. I of course have a tutorial here that is free for you guys to watch, and I have, I think, 2 or 3 different types of bows. But if you want to learn more and more fabulous bows, my tutorial, it's wonderful. Now our last bow, same thing, and I'm trying to speed it up. 6 inches pinch and gather 6 additional inches. We twist and then we gather 6 additional inches, pinch and bring forward towards you. Hold and twist so you see the back end of the fabric of the ribbon, and then pinch and gather and bring towards you again, and that will make your simple 2-loop 2-tail bow. Six inches, and we're done with our little bow. And we twist and we twist and we twist until we're satisfied with the twisting. Cut it, fold it and hide it, and let's fix that bow. Make sure that you remember to cut or dovetail the other tail of your bow. And guys, look at this. Gorgeous, like that meme, right? It is so beautiful. Now it's when it gets very, very interesting. We're gonna be adding our attachment, our sign, and our apples. Okay, so let's do that. Now, after we have put all of the mesh and our ribbon, now it's time to make a pretty bow and our attachments. Okay, so I designed these apple pie, and we need to put it through. I use, without the wire, I use a plastic crochet needle to run it through. You don't need to, you can just poke it, but it's way easier. I want to put it right here, so it's way easier. I run it through with ease when I just use the crochet needle. Do the same on this side, and we're going to be tying it to the wreath form. Now make sure that you have the placement that you want, and that's how I want it. And then on the back where you have, put it like this so you guys can see it, you're gonna tie it to the actual frame. Okay, okay, so once we have attached one of the sides, then we need to come and attach the other. And in this case, it will be really simple for me just to run it around the mesh. So you need to just find that tiny spot that you can run it through. Poke your mesh down, and then the other pipe cleaner, it's right here. I want my pie to be a little bit sideways. I think it looks prettier when it's like this. It's kind of slanted. I want to make sure that my bows and my tails are in the proper way. I like to trim all the little pieces of mesh that I see that don't go there. Look how cute it looks, and it only has one attachment. So now, let's fix this bow. Now I'm going to be placing my sign. I want my sign to be, you guys are going to be seeing it kind of backwards, but I want my sign to go right here. About right there. Let me see. Sign placement, it's tricky. Okay, guys, it's tricky. So you need to find where you think it's gonna look best. And I think like this with the apples, I think that would be best. So that's where I want it. I have multiple of these crochet needles. I have them on my site. You can order them through me. I think they come 4 or 5 in the pack, and they are I believe they're $3.99 on my site. So, and they're super easy to use. I want to tuck in that end. In there. And once you're out and you have passed the edge, let me turn it so you guys can see. You do the same. You twist and tie it down. I'm just gonna put this one, once I have the placement, then I can turn it so you guys can see on the camera how easy it is when you have these crochet needles. Trust me, otherwise, it's not that they're completely necessary, they're not. You can actually do it just by hand, but trust me when I say it's easier to do it this way. Okay, so I'm just gonna put the placement there. Let me turn it around so you see. So once you have run your needle through it, I'm gonna put it through this other rail. You pull your needles out and then you twist your pipe cleaner to attach it to your rail. Make sure that it's well tied in there. I like to go around my rail just to give that extra support and prevent movement. Plus I like the back of my wreath to be neat. When my wreaths are completely covered with mesh and I don't have a hole, like in this one I have a hole, but when I don't have one, let me show you what I refer with the hole. So right now I have a hole right here that I can see through. So when my wreaths are not like that, when my wreaths don't have that hole, I like to cover the back of my wreath with it's actually a placemat, a round placemat, just to give it a nice finished touch to the back of the wreath. I don't know if my client, whoever order it, will have a glass door or a French door or some sort of glass, and I want my wreath to look pretty on the front, and I want it to look pretty on the back. So sometimes when the wreath allow it, I like to cover the back of my wreaths with a placemat, with a round placemat. On this one I won't be able to, so I need to make the back as pretty as I can. If you guys know me by now, you guys know that for me, aesthetics is very important. Even on the way I pack my wreaths and all of that, I'm always paying attention to how the wreaths actually look. Okay, so here, now I'm gonna decide where I'm gonna put my bow. And my bow, I think it's gonna go right here, okay? I wanna make sure that the bow looks beautiful as well. Honestly, you can leave it in this step. You don't need to add the bow, but I like to have bows on my wreath, and I know my clients love to have bows on my wreath, on the wreaths. So I need to turn this on. So I will be adding a bow. Now you guys know that I like to use I like my bows to be made by hand, so I like hand bows. But I am not against a bow maker. This is not a bow maker, this is just a bow holder. So I just like to have this contraption. It's just a piece of wood. You can do square, you can do round. I happen to have this, so that's what I used. And I drilled 2 holes the same thickness as these 2 dowels. And I just place the dowels inside the holes, okay? I glue them down with wood glue and they're not going anywhere. It's steady. This is just, I make so many bows and I work with my hands so much that I'm starting to have carpal tunnel, and sometimes it's hard for me to hold the ribbon for too long. So in that case, if my hands get tired, I have this to put my bows and rest my hands, okay? If you don't have it and you cannot make it, you can always buy a bow maker if that is easier for you. Now I'm gonna make a bow, and I'm gonna be adding a ribbon that we did not have in our wreath. So I decided to go with these big ginghams 4-inch ribbon. The bow is not going to be super big, but it is going to be beautiful. Okay, so this is going to be a simple bow. I'm going to be doing 6 inches and pleat. Then we're going to twist. We're going to measure again. This way is going to be 12 inches. So I'm going to go from 10 to 22. I'm going to gather and pinch. Bring it forward or bring it to the top. Pinch again. When the ribbon is like this, hold on, let me untwist my ribbon. When the ribbon you're holding it is like this. This is our right side, so we want to make sure that we twist it right here so we can see the ugly side. In this case, it doesn't have one, but that's how we're gonna call it. Then we're gonna measure other 12 inches. Gather and pinch, and we're gonna bring it inwards again towards the center. And pinch and twist again to make the other tail. So this is my, as I call it, is my simple bow. This is the simple, I have a video of this slowly and a top view, and this is what I call my double loop double tail bow. Okay, now you see how it holds it for me, so I can work with other fabric and other ribbon without having to be holding it in my hands. I can hold it in my hands with 2 fingers, and that will be okay while I make the other one. With this, it is not necessary. My hands have been hurting all day, so I want to give them a little bit of a rest. So that's how I'm gonna do it. Now the next step will be, the next ribbon will be this one. And what we're gonna do, I love this ribbon, it's absolutely beautiful. We're gonna do a dovetail. We're also gonna do 6 inches. We're gonna twist and turn, bring it forward. We're gonna do a tad smaller. So instead of 12 inches, we're gonna go to 10 inches. So we're gonna do a 5-inch loop. Pinch and gather in the front or in the middle. Twist. Do another 10 inches loop. Pinch and gather in the middle. And then cut your 6 inches tail. So again, double bow, double tail, simple bow. And in this case, I like to put my tails to the same side, and my loops, I will play with them. That is the beauty of when you're making your bows individually. You can play with them, with the placement, however you want them. Now I want to do the burlap now. For the burlap, actually I will do the burlap at the end, because the burlap is not going to be a bow, it's just going to be 2 tails. Now I'm going to do the green. The green, remember, we don't dovetail it, we just cut it in the diagonal and slanted. Again, we're just pinching and gathering. Just like that. And then we're going to be using our pretty gingham, 1.5 inch, that we have used on our wreath. And we're going to be making again about 6 inches. You guys know I don't like to measure too much. You guys can if you want to. I find it easy just to, or easier for me just to try to match the distance of them, but make it as big or as small as I want. And on this case, I'm gonna do a double loop, a 4 loop, 2 tails. And a small loop on the center as my finishing touch, okay? So this will go, I need to just cut it right here. These I need to hold so I can grab the rest of my bow and hold it on top of it right in the middle. Okay, that's how it's gonna be. And now I want to add just a tail of the burlap, and I want to do it hinge in the center like that, and then pinch here or cut here. Now we need to grab a zip tie, and we're gonna run it through our fingers, hold it underneath our thumb, pull this either side, and tie it. Now remember, we're gonna stop. We're not gonna make it too tight because we need to add our pipe cleaner behind it, and now we tie. Okay, we don't need to super squeeze. Remember, that's gonna put too much pressure on your bow, and it's gonna cinch it too much, and it's gonna lose the shape. It's not gonna look as pretty as you made that bow previously. So we want to make sure that our bow stays super pretty and it has the shape that we want. So look at this gorgeous bow that we just made. Now what we need to do is dovetail these 2 tails. Okay, let me do it a little bit with a little bit more angle. Same over here. And lastly over here. Now remember, we can always adjust the length of our tails once we place our bow where we want it. This is dangerous. These needles, these pin needles are so long. So look how beautiful our bow looks. Now we're gonna, let me bring the wreath so we can put the bow where we want it, and then go to, for me, the most fun part, which is going to be adding this is how I want it. It looks gorgeous, guys. It looks stunning. see, wait, I don't use the needle, the crochet needle. It's not that it's hard, it's just a little bit harder, okay? Now, when we are attaching our bow, we want to make it tight enough that our bow is not going to move, but we don't want to strangle our bow, right? The harder we pull our zip tie, not our zip tie, our pipe cleaner, the closer, or the, how do I say this? The more the bow is going to shrink, right? So we want it loose enough that the bow is going to keep its shape, but tight enough that our bow is not going to be moving. So there's a fine line, guys. It's good to be strong. You don't have to be the Hulk. Okay. So that's how I want it. I want these tails to go this way. Oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. Fabulous. Okay, now, remember I told you I was going to add some apples? So this is the time. I already warm up my glue pot. They come 2 apples with some leaves and a stem. I don't think we're going to need that long of a stem, so I'm going to be cutting it. And I'm going to be separating the leaves from the apples because I want to be able to play with them. I know I want some apples right here on this side. Let me turn it your way so you guys can see. So I know I want some apples here. I want to add the apples and I want to add the leaves. So I'm going to put glue. We want enough glue so it's going to attach to that mesh and ribbon that we have there. We want to make up a space for it. I think that's perfect. Now we're going to be adding our leaves, and I think they should go lower or underneath our apples. And we have 3 sets of apples. So I'm going to lift. I don't want too much. I'm going to lift this ribbon and I'm going to put it right under the ribbon so it stays in its place. Let me turn it and see it. Gorge. Okay. Then we're going to trim these other set of apples. Again, we're going to trim the leaves or separate the leaves from the apples. And in this case, I want to separate the small apple from the big apple. Not New York. Well, that was cheesy. Okay, so I think we need an apple right here with some leaves. And we're going to put some of our leaves some of our leaves with that apple. So we're split our leaves in pairs. I think that's perfect. And then we have the small apple. A small apple. I want to put it here. So it needs to go underneath part of my big bow. Underneath part of my big bow. And the other two leaves are gonna go right next to it. And again, guys, I use only 2 types of glue, and it's either Gorilla Glue or Artec. Both of them they have proved me that they do great in hot temperatures. As you guys know, I am in Florida and we get very hot summers. I ship constantly to states like Arizona and Texas, and they are all very hot, and I have never have a complaint from a client that the glue has come undone from the wreath. So always good, right? Always good. So I want to put this 2 leaves right here, and the other 2 leaves on the top. So I'm adding glue again. Small dabs of glue go a long way, and of course we want to make sure that we hide them. We don't need to see it. When we're using evergreen bases, they are more forgiving when we add glue, right? We have more texture to work with. So we can hide more glue and we can add more things than when we're doing mesh. Mesh wreaths, remember, they're pretty light, and you're only attaching to the mesh and to the mesh and to the ribbon, right? So this apple came kind of undone from there, so we need to add glue and put it in how it's supposed to be, and then this will be added right here, and I think that's super beautiful. So these will be added to underneath this mesh right here, underneath it. Okay, and then these leaves, I'm not gonna attach them there. I'm gonna attach them to the back, right here, to the back of our sign. And you might think this is a damaged leaf, but I love when my leaves come like that. It makes it look more natural. when you see the trees, when you see your plants, some of them have a little bit of yellow spots on the leaves, and that doesn't make the plant to be ruined. It's just natural, right? So I love having that on my artificial plants when they come, and I use them. I always use them. I never throw them away when they look like this, when they have those stains like that. I think it's adorable. Okay, so guys, now let me, as I always said, step away, turn it your way, step away, look at it. I know you guys cannot see it, but I am looking at it. Move those ribbons wherever they need to be moved, so everything looks beautiful. Now, I noticed something. See how this ribbon tail is covering my A? I can move it another way. The green one has holes, so it's okay to have it on top of my sign. It's fine. It looks perfectly fine. I don't know, guys. I think it's completely adorable. What do you guys think? I think it's super beautiful. I think it would look super good on any door or any kitchen. So this will be on my shop. It will be on my website, and it will be on my Etsy shop. And I don't know for how long, so I don't know when you're watching the video if it's going to still be available. But as of right now, it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Come back for more. Bye, guys.